Good afternoon. My name is Scott Rudd, the Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead.
大家好，欢迎收看今天的直击美股，我是主持人赵冰晶，在纽约向你问好。圣诞节即将在本周末到来，许多的交易员已经开始了休假模式。我们看到道指已经无限接近了2万点，但是何时才能够真正的冲关到达，似乎还有点吊人胃口。而今年3大指数呢略微的回调。在经济数据方面，美国政府公布的第3季度的 GDP 修正值上修为3.5%，为2年以来的最高值，同时也超出了经济学家的预期，似乎离特朗普4%的目标越来越近了。而交易员如何看待今天的经济数据，又将会如何回顾过去1年表现最好以及表现不佳的板块呢？我们来进入今天的交易员采访。Scott, seems like only yesterday we were talking about there's nothing could stop this market, and today we saw a little bit pullback. What stopped the market? And if we do reach 20,000, you think we will see some huge sell-off?
That's a lot of questions there. At this point, just very far, very fast. You have to know your time frame. The election rally has gone on for weeks, and anytime you get to a big milestone, there's always some anxiety, some pressure, some resistance. So at this point, if you go to the chart of the S&P cash, there's really not much to not like here. This was your descending trend line here. This is the day that President-elect got elected. So even if you missed this little pullback and didn't catch the reflex rally, in this digestion phase is when you could have got really long for a move above prior highs. Then we got above prior highs, which we did right there. And then we came back and retested the prior resistance that turned into support. And then after about a week or so, we took out the pivot. So the question is up here, can we hold above this spot? So I would write this down. This is your support, 2248. The longer we hold and go sideways and digest this big move, the higher the probability we take out this pivot, which is 2277, for a move to 2300 or above. The question is, does it happen, starting tomorrow because Christmas is this weekend? I don't know. If you want to be very tactical, write down today's low, which is 2256. Some might be long versus that, and that could be a start to new highs here. But at this point, stocks have come pretty far, pretty fast.
Well, bank was the best performer after the election, and today the third quarter GDP came out, which is 3.5%. Not too far away from Trump's target 4%, which also support the Fed 3 more interest hike next year. So, what do you think about the bank sector?
Well, I also think we get the 3 rate hikes. I know last year everyone's like, oh, they said 4 and there was 1. I do think we get 3. And the banks, same thing. We're watching the banks for direction. And the banks have had huge moves and now they're digesting. Look at Goldman Sachs. I think that's the only bank you need to watch. Goldman Sachs, remember how it ignited here? This was a nice igniting bar. It went sideways for, I would say, 2 weeks here and then went again. So now here we are going sideways again. So if you happen to be long Goldman Sachs, be long tier 1 versus this 235. And then if we want Goldman to lead the market again, it's going to have to get above this 245 and really break out. So at this point, still above the 8-day moving average, but some want to be careful because it might pull back to the 21-day, and as an active trader, you don't want to be caught from here to here. But as an investor, that shouldn't matter because even back to here, next year, 3 rate hikes, I think we go higher. If you want one more bank real quick, JP Morgan also looks pretty good, trending higher. This one actually is at highs here. Last time it went sideways, you had a nice little 2-week consolidation before going up. At this point, there's no true setup, but as long as it's above the 8-day moving average, stay long, not short, but don't get caught, chasing something if it happens to do some kind of cute pull, and at this point, there's no signs of that.
Well, let's take a look at the high-beta technology sector. If we're going to go over 20,000, we're going to need some momentum from the high-beta technology. Which stocks you think was underperformed in 2016, which I think Tesla is picking up a little bit. You think it will have more movement in 2017?
I like Tesla a lot. It was very calculated about a week ago. I'll get into that. But like you said, in order to get to Dow 20,000, I don't know if tech has to lead, even though traders like when tech leads, but it can't break down. So I think the Qs have a very important level here, which the Qs would need to hold right around this spot, okay, which it's testing. So for an active trader, you want to see the Qs hold this 119.50-ish. If it could hold this area, perhaps it could then give you momentum above 121. So at this point, nice move, digestion above prior resistance. So at this point, technology is acting okay, but you want to make sure it does not break this spot. And if you're trading for momentum, it's got to get above 121.11. You mentioned Tesla, so I'll put it up. Tesla, we talked about this descending trend line, how it's basically done nothing in 2016. I think that this could be a really nice 2017 story. This is when it broke above my spot, a good spot to be long. It's taking back the moving averages. I think I would give you a 70% chance that next year it takes out this 270 high, and that's a lot of trading between now and then. But if you're an investor, perhaps buy it here, put your stop in down there, and try and ride the electricity.
Okay, that's what we have before the holiday. We're looking forward to what Santa Claus brings to the market.